했었을 때 머리랑 용모가 좀
Are you nervous? Yes, of course not. I think you're really nervous, but I want to tell you, just calm down. We are your team. We are not your competitor or like really he's doing something, she's something doing well or not. We are not like that. That is one step for you to improve and having your chance to speak or speak your English, okay? Okay, so don't forget it. We are your team, okay? We are your team. We are not your like enemy or we are not like that, okay? So I'm gonna tell you today's competition's 4 criteria. So we're gonna check 4 points of your speech. So first one is presentation ability. That is 50 points. It means half of your score. Okay? So presentation ability including like how you deliver your speech to us, how to use your gesture naturally. Okay? And perfect speech is like voice tone. Do you know what I'm saying? And then don't be shy, have confidence, and then deliver to us your speech, okay? So next one is literary. It means how you write your script. And then that is logical, or if you insist some of your opinion, how you deliver to us. Like making structure, good or not, that is 40 points, okay? So, and then originality, that means if you use some PCAT or PPT or something creative, when you deliver your speech, how you deliver to with us with some PPT or some material to show your speech, okay? And then last point is time limit. Actually, you guys have to deliver your speech within 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes. But if you over 3 minutes, from 3 minutes 1 second to 3 minutes 1 second, to 3 minutes 30 seconds, you guys get minus 5 points. Okay? Okay? So student, please keep your time. Please look at behind. Teacher, Mi-kyung Lee, she's the charge of the holding PCAT. So if you have 30 seconds, she will hold. It means 2 minutes and 30. She will hold that PCAT. It means, what does it mean? Yes, you have 30 seconds, okay? So please say again, please just enjoy your speech, okay? You got one chance to speech your opinion or your thinking or your idea, okay? Please cheer up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then now we'll move on to the speeches. We'll start with our first contestant. Contestant number 1, Kim Gun-ho. The title of the speech is The Power of Perspective.
What's the color of this dress? I see it as yellow and white. Some might see it as blue and black. Yes, you've got it right. This dress can be both black and blue, as well as white and yellow. How is it possible? You ask. We reach to an optical illusion depending on the lighting. The color appears differently, just like how people see color differently. People also have different perspectives. Do you happen to know a swimmer named Kim Se-jin? Kim Se-jin's biological parents abandoned him when they saw that he had a disability. Thankfully, Kim Se-jin miraculously survived and was placed in an orphanage. There he met a volunteer who would become his second mother. She instantly fell in love with Se-jin and decided to adopt him. How could this happen? If you only judge Se-jin based on his appearance, you would see a person who had lost all the possibilities of working because he didn't have a leg. If you were in a position to adopt a child, could you adopt Se-jin? I couldn't. The difficulties of rating after adoption are just too much to bear. He won't be able to lead a normal life like other kids, so Se-jin's birth parents abandoned him. But Se-jin's second mother didn't see his leg. She saw his heart and his beauty, and that's why she adopted him. It's beautiful story, isn't it? Now in this world there are many things that seem difficult and challenging, just like how I used to find English. Think about it, how often do Korean really need to speak English when they meet foreigner, but we have to learn English because it's on the test, right? We do it to avoid getting scolded. For me, English was a subject that I had to study even though I didn't want to. It was a hard and enjoyable subject. However, here at Lincoln School is a specialized English school. We had to memorize sentences for pattern tests and speak in English at English Zone, and it became an environment where I had to use English. It was really tough for me. But then I changed my perspectives. I thought, English isn't actually that difficult. When I looked at English from that and English actually seemed easy. Because of that change in perspectives, I went from not being able to speak English to a student who can speak a little. All I did was changing my perspectives, so sounds like that if you change your perspectives, something difficult can become easy, and something you didn't want to do can become enjoyable. So why don't you try changing your perspectives too? Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 2, Ho In-kyung. The title of the speech is Balm for the Heart.
Everyone has a history of getting hurt. It's painful, bitter, and for some full of suffering. So people treat the wound by applying ointment. The new flesh will appear on the wound and the wound will be healed. After some time, you can live again without the pain of the wound. But what about the wound in the heart? What kind of ointment should we apply to the wound in our heart so that we can live, not feeling the pain? I'm a person who gets hurt easily, but I don't want to make it obvious. Since I was young, I have loved playing the piano. I learned to play from the age of 7 until the 5th grade. There was a period when I grew tired of the piano and I quit for about a year. Then one day, a friend said to me, In-kyung, you played the piano well, right? Could you play something for me? Because I had learned the piano for a long time, I approached it with the thought I will do well. But I played like someone who was just starting, not like someone with previous experience. That's when my friend said, "What? Ingyong, I thought you were good at the piano. Is this all your skill amounts to? Why is it so bad?" Those words were a deep wound to me, who believed I was good at playing the piano. I had no idea how to heal this wound in my heart. Since then, I never touched the piano again. Instead of facing more hurt, I chose not to do it at all. On the day of the middle school entrance ceremony, our school teacher looked so different. He looked like an unusual person. He spoke calmly to us who are going to be middle school students for the first time. "Everyone, erase the words 'I can't' from your heart. Then you can do anything." That remark was so shocking. Never accept the word no. As I heard that, I learned how to treat the wounds in my heart. The ointment to heal the wounds of the heart was not to accept the word "I can't." I erased all the words no in my dictionary. How are you handling the wounds to your heart? Why don't you try the ointment that I put on? Please don't accept the word no or "I can't." If you upset it, try applying the ointment I apply. You will be a world changer. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 3, Choi Sung-hoon. The title of the speech is Dream.
Hello everyone. Do you know an American politician named Benjamin Franklin? Benjamin Franklin was an American politician who flew a kite in the middle of a storm and invented the lightning rod. He is also as one of the founders of America. Despite the dangerous situation of being struck by lightning during a thunderstorm, Benjamin Franklin flew the kite to the end and invented a lightning rod. As a result, we can now minimize the damage caused by lightning by using lightning on highlights. In addition, Benjamin Franklin continued to work on electricity. Like this, I have a similar case like this. My dream is to be a code developer. I especially enjoyed playing computer. When I was young, at that time, my parents noticed that I like computer. So they asked me how it would be to go to coding academy to follow my dream. Because I like computers, I upset. That's how I started studying at a coding academy called DRAP. At first, I felt unfamiliar and coding didn't seem interesting. So I kept telling my parents that I wanted to quiet. However, my parents know my dream is to be a code developer, so they always support me from behind. This is how I get done with basic coding like entry and Minecraft and even more complex coding. Problems like Python, however, due to some circumstances, at the end of the Python course, I had to leave the academy. This way, even though I wanted to give up, my parents guided me and I tried to finish without giving up. So when you have a dream, I feel like giving up because it's hard. I ask you to remember Benjamin Franklin's story. If a person like him gave up, then lives could be different from what we are used to. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 4, Lee Kyuhan. The title of the speech is Finding Balance.
My journey into the world of gaming began when I was third grade. Slowly it turned into diversion. What started as innocent fun became a restless joy to keep playing. I'd save until dawn only to drag myself to school soon after. This cycle continued 6th grade, leaving me exhausted from sleepless nights and school days. Amid these thoughts of cutting and the need for select crept into my mind. How do you reach this? Thus, I couldn't break free from the grip of gaming. That's when I realized I was dealing with an addiction. Reflecting on this, I understood the vital role of moderation in life. Without it, the past addiction becomes dangerously easy, whether it's alcohol, drugs, games, or anything else. So, how can you tackle addiction through moderation? Have you heard of the Park experiment? It observed the behavior of rats addicted to drug when placed in a paradise like environment compared to their regular surroundings. Rats in the enriched park reduced their drug consumption, while those in the regular setting increased it. This experiment taught us an important lesson: to overcome addiction through moderation. It's better to shape an environment that naturally steers us away from it, rather than just impulsive bans. Moderation has been my focus. Through hearing and reading various perspectives, I've grasped the significance and necessity of a reading moderated life. I've also learned strategies to implement moderation. I hope that my story helps you realize the value of a balanced life and equips you with tools to achieve it. As I've stressed before, a life devoid of moderation can easily lead to addiction. My wish is for all of you to embrace moderation and evade the clutches of addiction. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 5, Lee Junho. The title of the speech is Counter Attack.
The 2022 Chanang Dance Festival Grand Prize goes to drummer Counter Attack. I've been part of this dance club called Counter Attack since last year. The name Counter Attack means standing up to challenges with dance. I faced many challenges during my time in the club, but I want to share a special story about our participation in the Chanang Dance competition. When I first heard we were going to join this competition, I felt a bit worried. I thought this competition is a big deal and our style of dance may not fit. We started practicing a month before the competition. It felt like we practiced a lot, and sometimes I got frustrated, even causing arguments within our team. One day during practice, I was feeling really unsure. But our team leader said something that changed my perspective. They told me a story about a CEO and the beggar. The CEO bought a pencil from the beggar, and that encounter changes beggar's life. The beggar started believing he was a CEO too and kept saying it every day. 10 years later, the beggar met CEO again in a big company meetings. The CEO asked why the beggar was there, and the beggar said that since the day the CEO bought his pencil, he believed he was a CEO, and that's how he got there. This story made me think. Even though I had doubt about our dance skill, I realized that if I believed in ourselves and our team, we could achieve great things. In the end, our counter-attack team received a prize we didn't expect, and we were all very happy. So for all of you, if you ever doubt yourself or face challenges, remember this story. Believe in yourself and you can achieve remarkable things. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 6, Kim Suyeon. The title of the speech is Herman Hesse, a writer who never gives up.
Do you know the novel Damien? This novel is a worldwide bestseller and impulsive book to many people. It's a very famous novel, so you are probably heard at least one. I was very impressive when I read the part in the novel, Bird Back Eggs. The author of this novel is an author who has exposed his inner self throughout his life and expressed the process in a book. He's a writer, poet, painter. His name is Herman Hesse, but this guy at one time had nervous breakdown and also had autism. There were many difficulties that came to do his autism and the nervous breakdown. He couldn't make friends who were about same age and her lucky emotional function. Herman had this great disease, but her did tremendous job of winning the Nobel Prize. So how did Herman Hesse produce his work? Damien with such a great drawback. Before I tell you the answer, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I am Chinese. I live in my home country at age 14, came to Korea. New friends, new cultures, new language, everything seemed like a burden on a world to me. I cried a lot because I didn't want to leave my hometown at a young age and go to another country. The one day my mother called me and told me, Suyan, you will become fluent without studying if you are in China. But when you go to Korea, you will learn the spiritual life, studying and having a dream. Because teacher in that Korean school hold you, so you must go to Korea. She said, the bird that broke the eggshell no longer will trip the eggshell, but can fly in the wider world. And she told me to break the egg and come out. When I heard that, I thought, that's right, if I start in China like this, I will live like a flow. I have to be a bird that broke free from its shell and can fly to the sky. It is evening if burdensome. Let's go to Korea. Let's try it there. For me, changing everything around me was crucial, but I don't think my burden is as great as Herman Hesse's. Just as Herman Hesse became a famous writer, he didn't give up until the end. I was able to learn how to change it without giving up, no matter what the difficulties were. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 7, Park Sung-moon. The title of the speech is Gratitude.
Hello, today I want to talk to you about gratitude. Let me share an incident from my life when I was in the 5th grade. It was day with a physical education class. Perhaps due to the rain, we had a class indoors in the gym. The floor was so slippery. On that day, we are doing long jumps. When the teacher counts down 3, 2, 1, and shot jump, I slip and slide due to the wet floor, falling flat on my face. A trip to the hospital revealed a growth plate fracture, and I had to undergo surgery. This marked the beginning of 3 months of treatment. During my time of release, a thought occurred to me. When I was tall, walking and running felt so natural, I suddenly realized how precious the ability to walk was when I couldn't use my leg. While doing the dishes, I overheard my mom talking about certain family. The father earned a mere 100 a month, so they were financially struggling. The children were the cheapest clothes they could find and appreciated every little thing. However, one day the father got a new job that paid around 300 a month. Suddenly, with more money, they started to dwindle. Just like that, went from knowing the value of money. During their time of scarcity to becoming indifferent to it in their prosperity. The son used to be thankful even for cheap shoes or a simple meal. But when the father started earning more, the son began taking everything for granted. Listening to this story made me realize how my wealth blinded me to the happiness that I could have felt despite having favorable condition for happiness. I neglect them. Overserved that son, I saw a reflection of myself, and it limited my actions. In our daily lives, we will face frustration, annoyance, sadness, and hardship. However, if we change our perspective, I can work today, you can breathe today, you have a nose to fresh air, and see the world through gratitude. Everything becomes of joy starting today. Why not write down a list 10 things you are grateful for in a diary? In a matter of days, weeks, or months, your life will overflow with gratitude and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 8, Kim Yeonjun. The title of the speech is A New Way Forward.
Count the happy moments in your count the happy moments in your life. How many times have you felt true joy? Maybe it's when you're hanging out with your pals, laughing and playing or spending time with your family. But hey, have you ever found yourself feeling down even when you surrounded by families and friends, like you are missing out on something from gaming or YouTube? Are you truly happy? The happiest moments often involve sharing, whether with friends or cherishing time with loved ones. While one life had its fair share of touch time, maybe more than the good ones, yet things have taken a turn right now. I'm brimming with happiness, wonder why? Because I changed my perspective. Back in the day, the pandemic had me cooped up with my family. I was glued to my phone, playing games, watching video, and letting the screen dictate my day for a solid 2 years. In the midst of this reflection, my blind aunt imagine or fear someone who's blind that radiate happiness. Day in the day, how she finds joy and contentment witnessing her split. I questioned myself. Why wasn't I happy? Why did I complain all the time? Whether things were good or bad, I hid my emotions and shouldered my challenge alone, rarely seeking help. It struck me that my aunt, with her eyesight taken away, could find happiness.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 9, Kim Hyo-sun. The title of the speech is Living a Thankful Life.
How often do you take time to appreciate the good things in your day? I used to complain a lot and often miss the chance to feel thankful for what I had. Then something amazing happened. When I read a book that made me look at myself in a new light. There was an elderly woman who had battled breast cancer, high blood pressure, and diabetes. She visited a doctor and shared a story about her past happiness. This woman had once lived a joyful life, but then fell victim to a scam that left her family crammed into a small room. Her days turned into a cycle of frustration, pain, and bitterness toward those who had deceived her. The doctor, upon hearing her story, decided to help her focus on the positive aspects of her life. He wrote down her happy memories in a notebook, encouraging her to read them every morning as she worked around her home. Taking the doctor's advice, the woman began her daily works, repeating the affirmations of her past happiness. A month later, her health had significantly improved. Gratitude has the power to enhance both our mental and physical well-being. It can also create a positive ripple effect in our families, schools, and communities. Before reading that book, I often found myself complaining and overlooking the good things around me. I realized that my tendency to complain came from not appreciating the small, wonderful moment. Reading that book opened my eyes and helped me cultivate gratitude for even the smallest things. As I started jotting down moments of gratitude in my journal, I felt a gradual shift. My heart began to fill with happiness as gratitude replaced complaint. Having a grateful heart is great, but why not take it a step further and write a gratitude journal every night? This simple practice helps you reflect on your day and record the things that brought you joy. By constantly writing in a gratitude journal, you will naturally start to notice the positive aspects to your life every day. Over time, your mindset will shift, leading to changes in your actions and habits. Just spending around 10 minutes a day in a gratitude journal can have a transformative impact, much like flutter of butterflies' wings, causing a powerful chain reactions. In a world where complaints often take center stage, choosing gratitude can truly make a difference. So start your gratitude journal today and watch as your life transforms. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 10, Moon Yeo-jun. The title of the speech is The Story of My Inner Struggle.
I go to 광주링컨 school. I came here because something bad happened at my old school, and I got into trouble for it. At first, I thought once this punishment is over, I can do what I want. When the punishment ended, I believed in myself, thinking I won't got into trouble for it. I can trouble again. I can make a better choice. But not long after, this time I had a fight with a younger student, and I thought it was unfair. I got another punishment. Later, while playing around with other students, I got into a big argument and a physical fight. I thought that would be the end of it, but a teacher teacher say I started it and gave me even more punishment. The other student only had to write about what's happened. What happened? I felt this was really unfair. I couldn't understand why it was happening to me. I asked the teacher. I know I was wrong to fool around, but he hit me too. Why am I the only one getting punished? The teacher said, you are already in trouble, so how it goes? I felt frustrated. During such tough time, I even drinking a cleaning solution while cleaning the restroom, but I couldn't do it and closed the bottle. The next day, I thought about it again. That's when our principal said something important. He said, "Yosun, you're like a knife. A knife can hurt someone cook delicious food, or save a life, depending on how it used. You need to learn how to that knife correctly." At first, I didn't pay much attention, but his words stayed in my mind. I started thinking, am I like a knife? Does this mean that if I use myself the wrong way, I couldn't hurt someone, but if I myself in the right way, I can something good? I thought about how it has been dealing with my anger all this time. So I started doing volunteer work. To change, I remembered what our principal say and went back to doing volunteer work. Ladies and gentlemen, each of you also has something inside you like a knife, dealing. Depending on how you use it, you can either hurt someone or help them. If you find yourself not using it the right way, I hope my story inside you to learn how to use it properly. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 11, Jo Yosef. The title of the speech is A Journey of Reflection and Transformation.
I'm currently living in a middle school dormitory. At school, where phone usage was restricted, I found soccer to be the most exciting activity. One day, a strong desire to excel in soccer struck me. To achieve this, I immersed myself in a rigorous practice. I pondered how to improve quickly, how to become even better. I practiced during lunch breaks, leisure hours, and any time I could spare. This routine continued for a year, gradually elevating my soccer skills to a certain level. After that, I started practicing more half-heartedly, mistakenly thinking that my skill improvement would continue. Unfortunately, it didn't, but later it did. I realized this pattern of thoughtlessness extended beyond soccer. As the student president, I had to address the assembly every Monday. Once, I got caught up playing soccer and arrived late, angering the teacher. This wasn't the first time I had been late due to soccer. The teacher's reproach wasn't solely due to my tardiness. It was because this happened more than once. The teacher asked, "You keeping late because of soccer. When will you get your act together?" These words surprised me and made me ponder. While my primary goal was to excel in soccer, I hadn't considered the repercussion of my actions, which inconvenience others. This happened more than once. It's clear my actions were bad for others, and I didn't know because I wasn't thinking. This happened in other parts of my life too. Luckily, the teacher made me think. I realized I need to be more considerate. I'm working on changing. Thinking about my actions has helped me avoid problems and solve them. I realized my lack of consideration and contemplating solutions. I'm now working on changing this behavior. Reflecting on my actions has helped me get me out of trouble and solve them more effectively. About a year ago, in October, I participated in 천안응대령 dance competition. The competition required rigorous daily practice over 12 hours. During the breaks, practicing soccer seemed challenging. However, my determination to improve in soccer was strong and I brainstormed ways to incorporate practice. During the meal breaks, I decided to eat quickly and use remaining times for soccer practice. This adjustment proved successful. Although I'm still young, I've learned that being thoughtful and not wasting time can lead to help you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the contestant number 12, Lee Hyun-min. The title of the speech is Critical Thinking and Restraint.
I'm currently attending a boarding school called 광주링컨. One day I had thoughts of waiting to go outside and play my phone and eat something delicious. But at this boarding school, I couldn't just go outside whenever I wanted, use my phone freely, or buy whatever I wanted. I started to think about going outside, grabbing tasty food, and waiting to play phone games. So one evening, my friend and I secretly sneaked into the school office and took our phones and cards and went to the convenience store. At first, I thought I'd do it just this once and I'd do it again, so I put the card back and went to sleep in my room. However, I went out with my friend again. This time, we didn't get caught, so I thought, I guess we won't get caught anymore, and went out again. But one day, we got caught by a teacher. My friend and I received disciplinary action. We had to do cleaning and volunteer work, and we also had to read the books. A few days later, our punishment was over, and we were back to our usual routines. However, the desire to go outside and visit the convenience store came back. So my friend and I took our cars and went out again. While walking, we find a cigarette pack on the ground. Out of curiosity, we lit a cigarette from the pack. Afterward, we went back to our room and slept. But another friend find out that we had gone out and told the teacher. So once again, we faced disciplinary action. We did many things, including volunteer work. But this time, teacher gave us a book to read and asked us to write a reflection. At first, I wondered why I had to do this, and I didn't read the book properly. I just skimmed through it. However, one day, I decided to give it a proper read, and the book had the message that said, "Don't just think on the surface, first level thinking. You should also think deeply, second level think." From the moment, I started thinking not only about my initial desires, but also about the consequence. Whenever I wanted to go outside, I thought twice and realized that going out might lead to disciplinary action. Reading the book changed me. I learned to restrain my desires and think more critically. Do you know why my life was difficult and unhappy until now? It's because I followed my First level thinking, considering the second level. If I hadn't read that book, I might not have realized this. After reading the book, I changed, and my life became happier. If you are living a difficult and unhappy life like I used to, try not trusting your initial thoughts like first level thinking, but also you should also considering deeper thoughts second level thinking. This way you can live a happier life. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 13, Oh Do-hyun. The title of the speech is A Change of Opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt like giving up in your life? Of course you did. But depending on how you view such situations, they can lead you to two outcomes: go all the way or give up. I have a friend. This friend always gave up when he faced difficulties. So every time he had to make a decision, he was not believable. However, there was a time when he dreamed of becoming a football player. I said, maybe you'll stop chasing that dream within a week. Surprisingly, he didn't. Weeks passed, months, even a year. But his determination to pursue his dream remained unchanged. He was not even good at football, but he trained harder than anyone. What made him persevere? It was a change on his perspective. If he thinks like me and says, "How can I do this? It's too hard for me," then he might have given up on his dream. Instead, his belief that he could become a football player always supported him. While inventing the light bulb, Thomas Edison was asked if he wanted to give up after so many failures. He replied, "Failure is a stepping stone for me to improve," and said, "Failure is the mother of success." This clearly illustrates how changing perspective can change the outcome of a situation. Through this experience, my friend developed the habit of sticking to things rather than giving up. By watching him, I also learned the importance of how we see a situation. Later, during my school years, I was faced with a challenge. It is dancing. I hate dancing, but our school has a lot of dance rehearsals. So whenever we talk about dancing, I'm always one of the people that dreads it. Then one day, a teacher who noticed our reluctance said something that I will always remember. He said, "Among those who are successful, no one succeeds just by what he wants to do. Just doing by what he wants to do." This completely changed my opinion. From then on, I considered dancing not something I disliked, but a way to success, but a way to succeed. Despite my reluctance, I approached it with a conviction that it could lead me to success. Everyone, have you ever faced to a great difficulty and a feeling of wanting to give up was too great? How about trying the perspective, "I can do this"? Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 14. Hong Hae-min. The title of the speech is Expanding Your Personal Horizons.
Today I'm diving into the topic of frameworks. Now, what exactly is a framework, you ask? Well, think of it as the mental structure that shapes your thinking and decisions. Everyone has their own unique framework. It's like the mental lens through which we see the world. But here's the twist. Sometimes our framework can hold us back. They can become like walls that prevent us from growing and experiencing new things. Have you ever noticed how people tend to stick to what they know and avoid anything that doesn't fit their usual way of thinking? It's like staying in a comfy bubble. but it missed out on so much potential for growth. I'll be honest, I used to be all about staying in my comfort zone and keeping things within my framework. But life had different plans for me. Middle school brought challenges that pushed me out of my usual way of thinking, like English contests and plays. At first, it was tough. I even shed a few tears during an English play. But guess what? I made it through and learned that there's a whole world outside my framework. Sure, there were bumps along the way, disagreements with teachers, struggles with friends. But looking back, those moments helped me break free from my self-imposed limits. Nowadays, if I find myself facing something that doesn't quite fit my frame, it's still a challenge, but I've become better at handling it. I've realized that stepping out of my comfort zone allows me to meet people who inspire and guide me to grow. So I've been on this journey of stepping out of my box for a while now, even though I'm not always perfect at it. Why? Because when you venture beyond your usual boundaries, you encounter mentors who help you flourish. It's like discovering a whole new world of possibilities. In a sense, my story is about breaking through my mental barriers and embracing the unknown. I wanted to ponder my words and think about how you can stretch your own boundaries. Don't be afraid to challenge your own framework and make an effort to become a better person you are yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey of exploration and growth.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 15, Bu Hae-won. The title of the speech is The Art of Transforming Thoughts.
Greetings. Today I'm here to help you flip the script on those negative thoughts that might be lingering in your mind. Trust me, it's simpler than you think. It's all about changing the words you use. Let me take you back to a remarkable moments at our school. Around this time last year, we were gearing up for the 천안행타령 with dreams of clinching the grand prize. I'll be honest, the journey was a real uphill battle for me. There are moments when I wanted to throw in the towel and abandon that grand prize dream altogether. It felt like a distant star. But then something extraordinary happened. Our dance teacher, sensing our exhaustion, dropped a gem of wisdom on us. No matter your skill level, you're already grand prize winners. Can you believe it? In that moment, our hearts swelled with disbelief with the ones who thought we were still polishing our skills. Were supposedly grand prize material, it was hard to wrap our heads around it. Yet that simple shift in perspective worked wonders. Suddenly, preparing for 천안행타령 became a joyful experience. That challenging dance practice, it turned into a fun-filled adventure. Fast forward to the day of the competition, and let me tell you, the competition was fierce with teams bringing their A game. Despite the odds, we hit our mark and claimed our victory. What's the secret behind this magical transformation? Is the immense power of words. You see, there's a renowned concept known as the law of attraction. It posits that the energy we emit through our thoughts attracts corresponding outcomes. Picture it like a magnetic force. Positive thoughts draw in positive result, while negative thoughts yield You guess it, negative result. It's the law of attraction in action. Your mind, my friend, is like a magnet attracting what aligns with your thoughts. Yet many fail to harness this incredible power. Why? They fixate on limitations, viewing them as unbreakable barriers. So how about a challenge? Let's embark on a journey of positivity. Embrace those strong moments with a positive outlook. When the going gets tough, let your words echo with optimism. Believe me, even amidst adversity, the power of positivity can be your guiding light. So there you have it, the art of transforming your thoughts. May these words be a beacon of positivity guiding your thoughts life challenges with unwavering strength. Thank you for joining me on this uplifting voyage.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 16, Kim Eun-hee. The title of the speech is I am a diamond in the rough.
Small instead of the great student, often quarrel with friends and critics about reconciliation. That's me. I am a student in my first of middle school, and carry many concerns about my identity and why am I talented. They say God is fair, but I seem to be an exception. So whenever I see myself hesitating and losing confidence in makes me depressed and bitter. One day I shared these worries with my father. He asked, have you been to where daddy works? I had briefly visited my father's workplace during elementary school. It was a place where they shaped and welded metal earlier, like city place and pies to create objects. I found it fascinating to see security place being bent by machines and massive items being lifted by cranes and even bigger than houses. Security places are heavy and rigid, but with machines they can be shaped into cupboards and cut into various forms. My father explained. Then he showed me a picture. Do you know what this? I answered, it's a rock. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary rock, but it's a diamond in the rough. Diamonds are often beautiful gems through processing. They reveal the hidden beauty within rough and liquid stones. Not only you may have shortcomings in making friends, but just like the diamond, through processing, even though might find it difficult to fit in and deal with friends now. It's part of your journey to grow healthily and beautifully. Right now, you are like in the diamond. Through your experience at school with teachers and friends in the process of shining, your current state doesn't define your true shape. Listening to my daddy's words, I started to focus more in the anticipation of the change I could undergo rather than my worries and fears. Currently, I'm facing final exams when I open a book, my mind goes blank. In the past, I used to give up on studying usually, but now I am learning to communicate and actually by spending time studying to them. My career have started improving and I'm getting closer to my friends. Although it might not appear like a significant change right now, it 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years, I will be very different from who I am now. Currently, I'm like in the diamond. Please anticipate the beautiful transformation that lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 17, Jo Eun-woo. The title of the speech is Power of Thinking.
In life, we often need to think and find solutions. Let's talk about a farmer who grew watermelon. One day, this farmer had a problem. Their land was too cold for growing crops, so they came up with an idea. They mixed wheat and tree leaves to make the soil better. This helped the land become healthier. Then they wanted to build a special house. For their plant called it a greenhouse. Greenhouse made of glass are great because they work well in both hot and cold weather. But glass greenhouse are very expensive. The farmer thought, what if I build a greenhouse using a different material like vinyl? It's cheaper and my plant can still grow in all season. So they built a vinyl greenhouse and could grow plant in it during summer and winter. However, there was a problem. The watermelon root in the greenhouse had weak root. Even with soil, their root was still weak. Then the farmers had an idea. They looked at a nearby pumpkin plant and wondered, how can I make the watermelon root as strong as the pumpkin root? They thought, what if I combine the root of the watermelon and the pumpkin plant? So the farmer did just that. The watermelon root and pumpkin root joined together without any ashes. Now the watermelon root could grow as strong as the pumpkin root. This story teaches us that if we think creatively, we can find a better solution to our problem. In our school, we have a system called a pattern test. Every day, we need to memorize 3 English sentences and take a test. If we don't do this, we get 30 minutes for punishment for each day we miss. When we started this system, our teacher said we could only take a maximum of 9 tests in one day. I thought, why don't memorize all 9 sentences in one day and finish early? So what I did, I memorized all 9 sentences every day in advance. When the test day came, I was ready. I didn't get any punishment for being late. Some of my friends hadn't finished their test. I looked at them and felt lucky that I had prepared ahead of time. I even joked with my friend, saying each good idea to the test in advance. You can enjoy your free time while others catch up. This shows that think ahead can lead to research. So by using a thinking power, we can find a better solution, improve our situations.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 18, Seo Yubin. The title of the speech is Let's Stop Using Bad Words.
Hello students, can you talk to each other without using bad words? You might be able to, but do you sometimes find it hard and stutter? Because you're used to using bad words, that means using bad words has become a habit for you. I used bad words for the first time when I was in elementary school. At first, I used them as a joke, because everyone, even the other kids, used them without thinking. But once I started using bad words, it became difficult for me to talk to my friends without using them. When I reached the 6th grade, my teacher made a rule. If we used bad words, we had to memorize 10 English words before going home. When this rule was made, I thought, oh no, now using bad words will be tough. So I decided not to use them, but it was hard. And I found myself using bad words again. I had to memorize English words every now and then, and it was tiring. So I thought about another way to stop using bad words. Later at school, I watched a video about preventing bad language. In the video, a man and a woman were using bad words while talking to each other. As they used more bad words, they got bruises and wounds on their faces. It was just a bizarre effect, but I knew what it meant. This video made me realize that when we use bad words without thinking, we hurt the people who hear them, even if we don't see it. I didn't know that our words could hurt others without us realizing it. So instead of hurting others with bad words, I tried using kind words and polite language. I replaced words like idiot with friends and shut up. When can you please be quiet? It felt strange and hard at first, but after about a week, I noticed that I was using bad words less often. What's even more amazing is that my friends using fewer bad words too. When they saw me doing it, remember, we can use bad words if we want to, but what if we think about this for the person hearing them before using them? We don't live in this world alone. We live together. In a world where we live together, I don't think bad words are really necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 19, Jang Juyeon. The title of the speech is Little Changes I Made.
Ladies and gentlemen, we possess the power to change the world. The power lies in the magic of words. When words change, heart change. When heart change, action change. And when action change, the world can change. Depending on the words we utter each day, our months, our year, and even our life can transform. I used to say to myself every day, why am I not good at anything? I can't dance, I can't study, I'm not good at anything. Thinking like this, I found myself unable to do anything properly, just worrying day by day. Then one day, I stumbled upon a lecture about the power of words. In the talk, I learned that what I say and what I believe become reality. Listening to the lecture, I thought, yes, I may not be good at many things, and I might not excel in anything, but let's try changing my words. From that point on, I started changing my words. Every day, I shouted, I can do it, I am smart, I am capable. And gradually, even the little things began to change. Even though I used to struggle with memorizing vocabulary for 6 hours, and even if I revised and took the quiz again, I kept getting it wrong. But when I changed my words too, I already know this, I can do it, and retake the quiz. My scores started to rise. Of course, initially, I used to get 15 out of 10 questions wrong. Instead of despairing, I said, no, I got a perfect score, while continuing to study. Eventually, I got 5 wrong, then 3 wrong, and finally, I scored 100. Similarly, when preparing for an exam, I repeat the words. I am intelligent, I am a genius, and studied with belief. And guess what? My overall average score increased by 30% compared to the previous test. Changing my words led to an extraordinary experience where things started happening just as I believed they would. The crucial point here is that by changing those little words, my heart changed. By switching from always using negative words to positive ones, my heart transformed. And consequently, my action changed too. I'm not only aiming to change studies, but also my life using the power of words. In fact, changes are already taking place. Do you ever face difficulties that make you think you can't do it? If so, try changing your words first. A single word can change your life. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, this is the last contestant for the first half of the contest. Contestant number 20, Jo Hae-min. The title is A World Without Worries.
In 10 years, I'll be 24. What do you think the world will be like then? I wish for a world where everyone can be happy without any worries. People worry about many things like jobs, friends, money, family, and the future. How about you today? I really like many others feeling worried and finding life tough. When my friends right now in just 3 minutes, I help you get rid of those worries. I sometimes get very worried. When that happens, I eat sweet chocolate. When I put chocolate in my mouth, it quickly melts away just like seem to disappear. How do you make your worries go away when you are feeling down? Some people use sleep, books, or food to make them feel better. Now, how can you make your worries go away? The best way is to talk to someone about them. When a person is sick, they tell the doctors what's wrong and the doctors help them. If someone is in pain but doesn't tell the doctors where it hurts, the doctors can help. It's the same with worries. If you don't tell anyone about them, they only get worse. I used to worry a lot about English. Other people's words get scores like 18 or 19, but I would only get 13 on a good day and 9 on a bad day. I felt embarrassed about not being good at English like others, so I didn't talk about my worries. My test scores kept getting lower and I felt worse about myself. Then one day at Lincoln School, I talked to my teacher about my worries. She said I talked to my other teachers too the next day. I want to talk to them about my worries. That's when Miss Son called my over. She said, "Hae-min, have you been practicing for the pattern test lately? If you don't start now, you may never do it in your life. If thought this was a test given to my fate, so I had to take it." When Miss So said, "Hey, what if you can't have snacks unless you finish over pattern test?" I already laughed away imagine if you hadn't talked me soon. I might still be stuck in my worries, unable to talk to anyone about them. So how can we make your worries go away? If you are now sure, why not try I didn't even talk to the people around you. I'm sure they are willing to help.
Thank you very much. Please, give the contestant another big round of applause. At this time, we'll have a 10-minute break. Anyone who wants to go to bathroom, go, and it's 10:30, so we'll gather again until 10:40.
일로 와. 와봐. 빨리 와봐. 한번 창피하고 난 진짜 못하겠거든? 했을 때 딱 어딜 쳐다봐야 되지? 너가 앞에 좀 서줘. 나 이렇게 해서 어떡해 나 이거 저 못 보겠어. 뭐야 나오는데 여기서 말이?
Okay. Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas?
이상해? 옆으로 해? 앞으로 하지 마. 에? 옆으로 이렇게? 그러니까 여기로 하면은
Okay. Have you ever seen police special forces in?
이거 못하겠어. 진짜.
Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas? Movies or dramas? There are many police officers in the world, but among them, the police special forces are the ones who jump right into action when events or terror incidents occur. They rush to the scene to directly resolve situations, even those happening on the road. Let me share a story.
어때? 이상해? 왜 웃는데?
Let me share a story. Once, there was an incident where a man in a motel was attempting suicide. When the police special forces received the call, they didn't know it was a suicide attempt. A man in his 30s had reported being threatened, so the special forces were dispatched. As they arrived, the man was on the balcony, seemingly preparing to jump. In the critical moment, two members of the special forces descended from the balcony, using ropes and kicked the man back inside. It's hard to imagine the extent of training they underwent for such a risky moment.
네? 네, 여기 올리는 거 진짜 아닌 것 같아요.
아니 이렇게.
네.
이게 딱 자신감 이러고 하는 자신감 있어.
They are incredibly impressive and admirable.
여기 서라고 안 했어 안 돼.
정말. Police special forces not only apprehend terrorists, but they also save lives in these dangerous situations. I recall watching a drama about them. Even while recovering from gunshot wounds, a member of the special forces confronted and subdued a criminal who was attacking a woman. The profession of a police special forces officer is risky, but it's undoubtedly a cruel one.
기다려 가지 마.
I respect regular police officer. I respect regular police officers, but I aspire to become a member of the police special forces who jump into action. There are many professions that save lives, just as firefighters extinguish fires and save lives. I want to rescue. I want to rescue lives by physically intervening as a police special.
선생님 있잖아요. 그 일단 참여할 때. 네.
Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas?
이렇게요? 근데 옆으로 하는 거죠 이거?
네. Okay. Movies or dramas?
이렇게 돼요?
movies or dramas? 이상해. 어떻게 나? 아, 웃지 마. Okay, I'm investing a lot of effort and time into making this dream a reality. Thank you for listening. Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas? Movies. 야 봐봐. 부연 첫 번째 두 번째. 알았어. 한 번 봐줘 그래. 그래. 아니 알았으니까 빨리 이거가 나 이게 나. Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas? Movies or dramas? 어떻게 나? 한번 봐봐. Movies or dramas? Movies. Okay. Movies or dramas? 오케이.
이거를 피지 말고 이걸 접어 여기를.
오케이, 내가 할 때 적을게. 그래. 야, 민정이 여기 와봐. 어떻게 더 자연스러운지 빨리 봐봐. 봐봐. Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas? 이게 나 아니면 Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas? 이게 나. 첫 번째가?
네가 할 때 이거 할 때 movies or
첫 번째가 맞다고? Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas? 이렇게? There are many police officers in the world, but among them, the police special forces are the ones who jump right into action. 같이 하자 우리. Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas? Movies or dramas? There are many police officers in the world, but among them, the police special forces are the ones who jump right into action when events or terror incidents occur. They rush to the scene to directly resolve situations, even those happening on the road. Let me share a story. Once, there was an incident where a man in a motel was attempting suicide. When the police special forces reached the court, they didn't know it was a suicide attempt. A man in his 30s had reported being threatened, so the special forces were dispatched. As they arrived, the man was on the balcony, seemingly preparing to jump. In the critical moment, two members of the special forces descended from the balcony, using ropes and kicked the man back inside. It's hard to imagine the extent of training they underwent for such a risky moment. They are incredibly impressive and admirable. Police special forces not only apprehend terrorists, but they also save lives in these dangerous situations. I recall watching a drama about them. Even while recovering from gunshot wounds, a member of the special forces. 너 잘 봐. 어떻게 더 자연스러워? Have you ever seen police special forces in movies? The special forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second half of the contest is about to begin shortly. Please take your seats. You have only 3 minutes. You have only 3 minutes. 1 minute. Part 2 is contestant number 21st, Yoon Jae-sung. The title of the speech is The Most Beautiful and Amazing Dream.
Hello everyone, do you have a clear dream for yourself? Is that dream really what you want and not just something others expect? Well, I didn't have one, so today I tell you the story of my journey to find my dream, which was quite challenging. I've been studying since I was a child, but I didn't really know why. So when I thought about my dream and future jobs like a doctor or a lawyer, which seems impressive outside, felt like empty dreams to me. I began to question my dream a lot during that time. I remember it being a really slow period. I envied friends who had dreams. I thought people who could do what they wanted without being limited by norms were amazing, like helping those in need, making delicious desserts, or playing musical instrument things they wanted to do, not what others chose for them. I felt envious and thought I was reckless. I told my parents that I wanted to find my dream, and they helped me a lot, but I couldn't find my dream right away. 2 years passed, and I was about to graduate from elementary school. That's when my parents asked me how I felt about going to a special middle school instead of a regular one. At first, I wanted to go to a regular one because nobody I knew had attended a special school. I was scared and anxious about going to a different school alone. But I went because I believe I could find there. I changed the crucial part of my life, going from a regular middle school to a special one. What's most important to you? And are you putting in the same effort? I haven't graduated from this school yet, but when I do, I believe I could find my dream and fulfill it within the next 10 years. Do you have a dream? How about you? If you don't, take a moment to think about it. Imagine yourself 10 years from now, having achieved a beautiful and amazing dream. Please cheer me on as I will work towards a beautiful and amazing dream. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 22nd, Shin Young-jae. The title of the speech is Concealed Love.
Growing up with an older brother and then my sister, my childhood was marked their absence. Our family was scattered across different places. And while I attended the same middle school as my elder siblings, it meant being away from our parents and each other. There were moments when I even skipped the school. Hoping to be united with them. But those instances only led me to my parents, leaving my siblings out of the reach, the edge of not being able to play with them, and creating cherished memories with them. But those weighed heavily on my young heart. Time stretched on my yearning to see my brother grow stronger. Yet fate had other plans. His enlistment in the army put the considerable, and I found considerable distance between us. And I found myself unable to bridge that gap. It wasn't until the 2023 World Camp that the stars aligned, granting me a precious reunion with my siblings. Despite their busy schedule, they made time for our family. The joy of reconnecting was indescribable. First, I embraced my older brother, then my sister. Then my sister, but happiness gave way to worry when an unexpected turnout event shocked us. The day I was returned to school, my sister collapsed on the shores of Haeundae. The news reached us at dawn, jolting my parents and me. Racing to her side, I witnessed side of my father. His anxiety. I had never seen before. His anxiety and urgency were palpable as he navigated the situation. It was stark reminder how fragile life can be. Arriving at Haeundae, I saw my sister surrounded by concerned police officers. Relief washed over me as I comfort her well-being. After assurances from her and my parents, we headed home. The car ride was a mix of comfortable and scolding. In the midst of it all, I was struck by the depths of love shown by my parents. Their unwavering support for us. Their children was something I hadn't fully comprehended until that moment. The incident brought that affection for us to the forefront, like discovering a hidden treasure. This experience that taught the true meaning of love and family. It's a memory etched in my heart, a testament to the power of connection. Reflecting on this moment of significance can be transformative. They offer lessons and insight that shape our growth and understanding. So take a moment to revisit your own cherished memories. You might find a word of wisdom waiting there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 23, Kim Min-sung. The title of the speech is Living with Moderation.
Are you living a life modulation? Modulation is really important in everyday life. Today I am going to tell a story about why modulation is important to us. A child named immigrated to America with his family when he was young. Then one day, when Julio became a middle school student, his friend recommended him to take drugs. Also, Julio being addict to playing once. That's why I started taking drugs then. I became a drug addict because I could control 1, 2, and 3. Julio was a drug addict for 20 years because he couldn't stop taking drugs. Then one day I ran out of medicine, so I found a hamburger while searching the trash can because I was hungry. But it tasted weird after I ate it. At first I didn't know because I was hungry, but it turned out to be a damaged hamburger. Julio thought that he would end his life like this by an addict because of drugs. For a moment, Julio took drugs again. Then I got caught by the police and went to a drug school. Julio has been to a drug school a few times. In the past, I used to play around or sleep without listening to the drug school teacher, but this time I could be heard. He didn't listen to the others because he had a high heard people. But when he knew he had no choice but to die, he started listening to the others, and Julio was able to get out of the drug. I was addicted to it in the past. When I was in elementary school, I didn't go out and didn't go to school. Since Corona spread, so I kept playing games whenever I was at home. At result, I was more into games and ignored studying or hunger fatigue and kept playing games. And I entered the first grade of middle school, and I was so addicted to games that I had insomnia than my days. And nights changed that I missed school a lot. As a result, I kept falling into games and didn't go to school, and just kept playing games at home. Then my mother sent me to Lincoln. When I was in Lincoln at first, I lived with the almost restaurant, so I thought I was no longer a game addict. I forgot to leave my laptop in the classroom. At first, I didn't want to use my laptop, but after 2 days of fantasy secret, I played games on my laptop while everyone was sleeping. Then I was caught by my teacher for playing games literally outside for 7. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 24, Kim Ha-jin. The title of the speech is My Dream World.
Hello everyone, have you ever thought about the kind of world you'd like to live in? The world might seem nice on the outside, but it has some not so nice parts too. We humans are the ones who live in this world. People are questioned, very smart, and generate the most comparable creatures on us. But sometimes people can be selfish, only thinking about themselves. When this happens, they ignore others and don't care about what others think or feel. A good example of this is bullying in schools, which is a big problem this day. Bullies often don't care if they hurt others, they just want to have fun and focus on themselves. This is very selfish and unkind because it ignores how others feel. Unfortunately, such behavior is getting worse and causing bigger problems. Sometimes people don't realize how wrong their actions are. It's a serious issue we need to address together. So how can we solve it? It begins with thinking about others. When we interact with others, we should consider how our words and actions might affect them. If we understand and respect others, they likely respect us back, and together we can make things better. On the other hand, if we don't think about this is very On the other hand, if we don't think about others and only care about ourselves, it can hurt others and make things worse. So it's important to make responsible choices and treat others well, even if it's just for their sake. Remember, if someone treated us, we wouldn't like it either. People can make mistakes, and sometimes we might accidentally hurt others. But if we admit our mistakes and try to do better, that's the right way to go. That's why I hope for a world where people help each other, understand each other, and they grow together with empathy. Even if someone seems distant or closed off, if we reach out, open our hearts, spend time together, and try to understand each other, any awkwardness can disappear, and we can become your friends. Thank you all for listening to my story.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 25, Seo Ho-jong. The title of the speech is My Happy Path.
I like to share a story from my elementary school days. Story about a friend. I had this friend had a mental disability, and their friend also had a disability. Because of their disability, my friend found it challenging to control their emotion, which led to them being isolated in our class. So I started talking more with him at school, opening on my heart, and participating activities together slowly but surely. It's not like we are getting closer. Then one day, while playing catch with the ball, something happened. I accidentally hit my friend on the head with the ball, and they turned bright red and smacked the face in anger. I was furious too, and I couldn't hold back. I ended up hitting my friend on the Peggy was grabbed each other's hands, struggling to gain a friend, and then I heard crack from my friends. Had followed by tears. I was scared and terrified. We called the teacher. My friend was taken to the hospital. I had felt ashamed, and I couldn't think. A few days later, I visited the hospital with my parents. I couldn't look at my friend. I felt ashamed and couldn't lift my head. That's when my dad said something to me that I'll never forget. He said, "Hojong, apologizing takes courage when you know you are wrong. Don't ask for reason, just say sorry." That's true courage. Hearing those words, I felt a jolt in my head, and I found courage in my heart. Despite my fear, I held a friend's hand and said, "I'm sorry for what happened. I didn't mean to hurt you." To surprise, my friend replied, "It's okay, thanks for coming." They even added, "Hojong, let's continue to be good. You've been through a lot too." I couldn't hold back my tears anymore. Made me realize that true one comes from showing your real feelings and cherishing through honest conversation and heart. After that incident, I helped my friend learn to control their anger, and we became great friends. I used to ignore and sometimes even insult kids with challenges. That after this incident, I started helping too. This event changed my mindset for the. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 26, Lee Woo-min. The title of the speech is "The Magic of Changing Perspectives."
Hello there, I'm Lee Woo-min, the world's top mindset speaker. Have you ever faced tough situations? I bet most of you have. But let me share a secret with you on how to overcome those difficulties. Long ago, there was a visionary leader named Jung Joo-young, the founder of Hyundai Group. In his time, the president wanted to build a building in the desert. He sent his ministers to assess the location, and they all complained about how hot and difficult it was. They said it couldn't be done. Then the president sent Jung Joo-young to the desert. Instead of complaining, he spoke differently. He said, "Your Excellency, it's true the desert is hot, but it's pleasantly cool in the evenings and perfect for construction." He spoke positively. You see, both the ministers and Jung Joo-young saw the same desert, but their perspectives were worlds apart. The ministers saw challenges while Jung Ju-young saw opportunities. In my school days, I learned the power of changing perspective. I had troublesome with Junior who played pranks and never listened to me. He was a headache. Despite being in school for almost 4 months, he remained untidy, cleaning poorly, and causing chaos. He just didn't take anything seriously. So I distanced myself from him and barely talked to him, basically ignoring him. Then one day, our teacher said he had grown a lot. I was surprised, but it made me think. I realized that instead of just seeing his negatives, I should look for positives. I had been blind to his good side. Our teacher saw his potential. Just like this, facing the same difficulties can lead to either positive or negative outcomes depending on our perspective. If you keep seeing your challenges negatively, you'll stay tough and painful. But if you look for the positive side, you'll find joy in your heart. I hope you all can change your perspective from negative to positives. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 27, Yoo Ji-hye. The title of the speech is Shaping the World I Seek in the 21st Century.
Hey, first, imagine if you had to choose the 4 things that are most precious to you. Take a moment to think about it carefully. Got your choices? Now, picture this scenario: you're faced with a disaster. Let's say, for instance, the 63 building collapsing or a sudden explosive incident. In this dire situation, you can only choose one thing from your list of 4. The decision, right? They are also valuable. But let me share a pick that stands out for me: friends. Once upon a time, I didn't really value the idea of friends. They were more like companions for playtime, nothing beyond that. Even when I entered middle school, I couldn't grasp the significance of friends. Doing homework by myself felt easier, and friends were just people who exchanged words with me. So I cruised through the early days of middle school, keeping friends at arm's length and wearing a mask of familiarity. Avoiding opening up to friends, I often brushed aside conflicts instead of resolving them. I even closed my heart tighter when faced with disagreements. Yeah, here's the twist. While I was locking on my feelings, my friends were opening their hearts to me. They helped me solve problems, lent a hand with challenging homework, and even pulled me out of my shell when I tried to hide my thoughts. Initially, I felt they were intruding, but their unwavering support continued even when I was angry or dismissive. Their persistent assistance led me to a revelation. I began accepting viewpoints beyond my own, and my horizons expanded through this shared experience. Through their kindness, I learned to break free from my self-imposed mental limits. I'm not saying that valuing friends is the ultimate answer for everyone. However, let me tell you, friends are an indispensable part of life. Without them, it's harder to overcome challenges, and our thoughts remain confined within a narrow sphere. I personally gained invaluable lessons from the concept of friendship. Learning from friends, I've come to believe that a genuine friend who supports you is a source of profound happiness. So, dear friends, my message isn't just about prioritizing friendship above all else. It's about recognizing that even a single truth can teach you immeasurable lessons. If someone sincerely stands by your side the epitome of true happiness, thank you for joining me on this heartfelt journey.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 28, Kim Eun-min. The title of the speech is Embracing Challenges.
Have you ever tried something difficult and succeed? Or maybe you faced many failures? Well, I used to avoid tough things completely. Why? Because I was the kind of kid who found everything annoying and didn't like doing much. I'd do things, lazily get into trouble, and then have to work twice as hard to fix them. But everything changed when I came to 광주링컨 School. Here I had various challenges, like dancing and speaking in front of people. These challenges were hard to avoid, so I had to step out of my comfort zone. One of the first things I did here was a fun camp for new students. After the camp, we had to summarize the talks we heard and take part in a gospel speaking competition. This was really tough for me because I had just joined the school. At first, I didn't want to do it and just wanted to have fun, especially because turning hours of talks into a 3-minute speech sounded really hard. But with my teacher's help, I finally wrote my speech. I could only finish it the night before the competition. That night, I played a lot. Then on the day of the competition, I gave my speech. During the awards ceremony, I didn't expect to eat at all. But then they called out Kim and Min, and I was shocked. I thought it might be someone with a similar name, but it turned out I had won. I realized that my prayers the night before had been answered. This was my first big challenge, and winning and I least expected it made me want to take on even more challenges. I encourage all of you to step out of your comfort zones and try new things, just like I did. You might be surprised by the great result you achieved. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 29, Kim Ji-yu. The title of the speech is Police Special Forces Jumping in with the Body.
Have you ever seen police special forces in movies or dramas? There are many police officers in the world, but among them, the police special forces are the ones who jump right into action when events or terror incidents occur. They rush to the scene to directly resolve situations, even those happening on the roads. Let me share a story. Once, there was an incident where a man in a motel was attempting suicide. When the police special forces received the call, they didn't know it was a suicide attempt. A man in his 30s had reported being threatened, so the special forces were dispatched. As they arrived, the man was on the balcony, seemingly preparing to jump. In that critical moment, 2 members of the special forces descended from the balcony, using ropes and kicked the man back inside. It's hard to imagine the extent of training they underwent for such risky moments. They are incredibly impressive and admirable. Police special forces not only apprehend terrorists, but they also save lives in these dangerous situations. I recall watching a drama about them. Even while recovering from gunshot wounds, a member of the Special Forces confronted and subdued a criminal who was attacking a woman. The profession of a police special forces officer is risky, but it's undoubtedly a cool one. I respect regular police officers, but I aspire to become a member of the police special forces who jump into action. There are many professions that save lives, just as firefighters extinguish fires and save lives. I want to rescue lives by physically intervening as a police special forces officer. A dream I never had before has emerged, a dream of being a police special forces officer who saves lives. I'm investing a lot of effort and time into making this dream a reality. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 30, Kim Hae-ji. The title of the speech is Unforgettable Memories.
Back when I was in the 5th grade of elementary school, I moved up a class at my cram school. I was thrilled and determined to study hard. However, this new class was completely different from the one I had been in. It was so quiet that it felt eerie, and there was no sense of camaraderie among the students. It seemed like everyone saw each other as competitors. I often got scolded by the teacher because I couldn't understand the scope of the homework and ended up doing different parts or leaving many problems unsolved. I even wished to go to back my previous class rather than staying in this one. During a lesson, the teacher gave us a problem I couldn't solve, and as I struggled, I heard laughter from somewhere. It was incredibly embarrassing. Eventually, the teacher let out a sign and gave me the answer. After the class, I went to the head teacher and asked to be moved to my old class. The head teacher gave me advice. Hae-ji, you have a lot of potential. Learning has no end. Until you succeed, the path may not be clear, but only after succeeding will you see the way. If you believe you can't do it, you won't. If you believe you can, you will truly succeed. My daughter is now ranked first or second in a prestigious Canadian university. At first, she struggled too. In exams, she always saw English, didn't understand the meanings of words, and struggled with being treated differently as an Asian. She even told me she wanted to go back to Korea. But if you give up and go back, how will be rewarded for your efforts? If you come back to Korea, you will forever be remembered as the Asian students who couldn't adapt to those kids. But if you persist and study hard, the way they treat you will change. This was what my teacher said. Listening to the story, I wondered why I can't be like that too. So I dedicated myself to studying. With hard work, I managed to keep up with the class and eventually became the top student. After achieving this, the head teacher applauded me and said, Hae-ji, I know you could do it. No one can replace you. Now I'm in a boarding middle school, unable to attend cram school anymore, but I will never forget these precious memories from the time.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 31, Choi Eun-seo. The title of the speech is Record of Happy Days.
I go to 광주링컨 school since I started here. I've had many happy days. I had my first midterm exam in school. It was my first time and I was very nervous. My teacher said I needed to get more than 60 points in Korea, but I was too good at studying, so I got a score lower than 60. Thankfully, my teacher gave me a chance to retake the test. This time, I studied hard and got 60 points. I felt really happy. When I was younger, I couldn't read Chinese characters. Memorizing them was too hard, so I told my teacher, I couldn't do it, but my teacher said, "You can do it." When I heard that I do, yeah, I can do it. From that day on, put my heart into studying Chinese characters and got a perfect score. I learned that if you put your whole heart into studying, I can get good result. I'm so happy to have a kind teacher. At our school, there's a dance club called Counter that I one of the members. One day, our dance team went to a dance competition. My friend and I stood on the stage together. We danced with big smiles, just like blooming flowers. Since I studied at Lincoln School, my heart has been built with gratitude and happiness. With that feeling, I couldn't help but smile while dancing. Seniors and friends cheered for us, enthusiastically, making me very happy. With their support, we danced even better. That day, our counter team received an award. The host said, "I've never seen a team dance with such bright smiles." I felt watching the stage. I was so happy to hear that. I'm thankful we could share the happiness in our hearts with others. When I first studied at Lincoln, I was worried because it's a boarding school and I had to live away from my parents. I wondered if I could do well here, but now my thoughts have changed. There are many things to learn at school, and there are many fun activities. Most importantly, I could have gone down the wrong path easily, but the teachers have guided me onto the right one. I'm very thankful. You will have happy days too. I hope you can live the rest of your life happily and enjoy what you love to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 32, Choi Eun. The title of the speech is Effort and Friends.
Last summer in 2022, I got a big award called the Minister of Science and Technology Award. Back then, I wondered if I really deserved it. Why? Between March and April last year, my teacher told me to write a letter about how I've been doing robotics for a while. So I wrote about my love adventure and sent it in. I didn't expect much, but when I heard the news, I felt happy. Right when I started elementary school, I picked robotics as my favorite after school activity. I felt really excited about my love and joined all the classes. I always had fun making robots and even tricky ones. Sometimes I'd change these robots or have them fight each other. Over the course of 6 years, these robots I made gave me joy and won me cool prizes. But sometimes I didn't try hard at other things. You see, I'd start something with lots of energy. But when it got tough, I'd think, wow, this is too hard. I can't do it. But I have a great friend. They are awesome at studying and sports. They helped me a lot. And we became close pals. My friends can do tough or easy stuff easily. Now and then, I'd feel like I was just dragging them down. When I compared myself to them, I'd be lazy and choose easy tasks. My schoolwork wasn't as good as my friends either. My friends work hard, whether they like it or not. Watching them, I saw how something I'd goof off when I didn't like something, but try really hard when it was fun. But later I moved to different school in Jeonju. We don't chat all the time, but I'm grateful to my friends. They supported me and gave me a hand. Friends are super important. Do you think success just happens without trying? Even you keep working even a bit each time, you can do anything. I'm only 7th grade, but I'm working hard on what I love and tricky school stuff. It's all thanks to friends who help me out. If you have some effort and friends who back you up, you can reach your dreams, even if they seem impossible. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 33, Jung Jo-eun. The title of the speech is Discovering the Value of Family.
Today I want to share a story about the importance of family. Something we often felt afraid of fixing. It happened when I was in the 3rd grade. One day, my mom received a text message on her phone. The message contained alarming news that my dad had fallen from a building about 4th Street while at work. Our family was thrown into shock after reading it. The news quickly spread to our relatives. My mom and Aunt Lucy to the hospital where my dad was admitted, while my older sister and I stayed at home, worrying about our dad. Shortly afterward, my sister and I received another message, this time from our mom. It revealed to our dad that had suffered severe head injuries, requiring major surgery to expose his skull. When we read the message, we realized that all we could do was pray. There were moments when I left home and refused to return. On other occasions, I found myself alone in the bathroom, missing my mom terribly. During those times, I thought, why is this happening to me? Often crossed on my mind. As a result, I distanced myself emotionally from my family and lived life with my own thoughts. Then one day, there was a moment when I didn't want to go back home. Feeling hungry and with the weather being cold, I still couldn't muster the courage to return. Suddenly, a thought struck me. If I keep worrying about my mom and stay away from home, my entire family will be distressed. That thought changed everything. It made me realize that I had never considered my family's feeling. From that moment on, my relationship with my sister transformed, and each day that used to feel tedious became genuinely enjoyable. Moments later, my perspective changed once more. I thought about how I had made others suffer, and that brought me close to understanding my family's feelings. From then on, our daily lives became more harmonious and cherished each day. As time passed, our family received help from my dad's friends who borrowed used food and suffered. Then the hardship caused by my dad exit. Our family managed to find happiness each day. A few moments later, my dad returned home after a few recovery. It was a moment of immense joy for our family. My mom grateful for my understanding and support bought me my favorite tears. Have you ever thought about how your loved ones or your family could suddenly distress for your lives? If you have, consider that. I hope my story encourages you to communicate more with your family and loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 34, Im Choi-sun. The title of the speech is Turning Lemons into Sweet Lemonade, A Tale of Transformation.
Hey, do you like lemonade? I sure do, even though I can't stand the taste of plain lemons. But today, I've got a good secret to share with you about how I changed sour lemon into tasty lemonade. Let me start by telling you a little story. Once upon a time in a park, I saw Grandma looking a bit tired. Someone passing by said, "You're walking a lot, Grandma." She replied, "I have to walk around here every day." The person then said something interesting. "No, Grandma, you're not forced to walk. You get to walk." Hearing this got me thinking. There's this saying that goes, everything that happens in life is there for you, not against you. When I read that, I was like, wow, it made me see tough snap in a new way. Challenges aren't out to get me, they're like opportunities. I knew someone who loved math. She always rocked math tests, enjoyed solving problems, you name it. But then, when she got to middle school, she gave up on math. She didn't understand some tough concepts and just avoided them. Soon, she had a big pile of unsolved problems. Her test scores dropped and she felt like throwing her math book away. But guess what? She eventually picked it up again and boosted her score like a pro. Yep, you got it right. That story is about me. Math used to be like a sour lemon for me. Bad grades means fighting with my parents, making me give up on other stuff too. It was like a big headache. But then I read this quote that said, every challenge in life is there to help you, not hurt you. And that got me thinking, I can turn this lemony situation into sweet lemonade. So from that day on, I started putting in time to solve tricky math problems. I asked my teacher whenever I needed, and I practiced math whenever I could. Was it easy? No, not at all. I'd often think, do I have to do this math? But I snapped back with, no, I get to learn math. This kind of thinking helped me enjoy math again and get better grades. And for those of you still struggling with lemons into lemonade, here's a little trick. When you're stuck in a tough spot, think about something you're grateful for. Seriously, there's a lot of cool stuff around us that we forget about. When you write these things down, it helps you tackle tricky situations. And when you think positive thoughts, your feelings, actions, and results get better. Just remember, whether you end up with a lemon or lemonade depends on how you think about it. So it's your call now. When life hands you sour lemons, how are you gonna make that awesome lemonade? If you see things in a positive light, everything gets better. Just like my story, I hope you can make some fantastic lemonade out of your lemons too. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 35, Kang Jin-young. The title of the speech is Interchange.
I've had times when I didn't talk to others. When I didn't talk, I had problems with my mom. I thought she gave me too much homework, and I felt upset. I didn't think talking to her would help, so I kept my feelings inside. After a while, I stopped talking to her and stayed in my room, not going out. But one day, my mom told me that if I had a problem with her, I should speak up. I was also hungry. So I told her how I really felt. Talking to my mom helped us talk better, and she realized I had concerns. She worked with me to fix my problems. Communication means sharing your feelings and talking things out. If you don't talk, you might feel like you don't fit together. And you could end the connection with the person. But if you don't communicate, you want to make progress. When you talk to others, you learn how to treat people and how to get along. If you just stop talking to people, you might end up alone. Being alone means you won't get help when you need it, and eventually you're all by yourself. However, through communication, you can grow. Also, when there are issues between friends or with others, you can easily solve them. I used to think I could live without talking, but now I understand how important it is. I used to only think about myself, but now I live thinking about others. If people around the world talk and live together, we can make the world better and solve problems. It would be great if you also talk it to others. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 36, De La Paz Liam. The title of the speech is Lessons Learned from Sound Between Floors.
I've got 4 younger siblings. I'm the oldest one. And there are 2 younger brothers and 2 younger sisters. Our house is like a non-stop laughter factory. One day, our parents headed off to church, leaving us 5 siblings our own device. And boy, were we having a blast! Imagine beach ball fly like they're missiles, even some epic chair acrobatics. But out of the blue, the doorbell downstairs went off like a rock concert encore. Weird, right? We curiously checked the doorbell camera and I nearly jumped out on my skin. Downstairs, there's a grandma with red eyes and a guy in his 20s sporting slicky black hat. He's holding something shiny. That's when it hit me. Kids on Sundays when our downstairs neighbors are at home, you've got to be as quiet as mouse. So we moved into silent mode. We told our parents about our eventful Sunday morning. Mom gathered us around and handed us pens and paper to the grandma and grandpa downstairs. We're really sorry. Did we get too noisy? We scribbled away. She gently checked it. A couple of KF94 mask into a paper bag along with the letters. And off we went downstairs. I was so nervous. What if Grandma grabbed Mom's hair? I hesitantly pushed the doorbell, but no one answered. So Mom and I hung the paper bag on the 3rd floor door knock and returned it. That evening, the doorbell chimed again. It was a grandma. Read our heartfelt letters. Soften her heart. What if my grandkids lived upstairs? How do I feel? Her anger melted away. We learned that the uncle was preparing for a service exam, and Grandpa often I stayed home due to poor health. After learning about this, we tried our best to be as quiet as possible. My dad even instead a thick mat to cover our floors. Sometimes when I watch the news, I see unfortunate instances arising for floor noisy disputes, houses, which should be heavens of happiness, and tragically turn into a battleground. If we remain indifferent and didn't reach out to our neighbors, then we would continue to dwell in our own thoughts and be consumed by them. But by reaching out, we turned that stations 100 degrees and made family friends along the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, contestant number 37, Song Ye-eun. The title of the speech is Valuable Discovery.
Our family consists of my mother, my father, my two older brothers, and me. Our family is a little special. My brothers are in wheelchairs because they cannot work, and my mother has difficulties. She was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, and when she heard the result, it felt like the sky was falling on her head. I was only 3 years old at that time, and my brothers had physical difficulties. Mom always asked me, "Yan, what color is it or Yan want to hear?" She said, "Yan, please have your brothers." Yan, Yan, always my mother called me by name. I looking at him and thought, why are you giving me a hard time just because I can't see? If my mother had given birth, if my mother had given birth to me, I wouldn't have had to go through these tough times. We were shopping one day and my mom asked me, "Yeah, what in front of you?" My pencil frustration played up. I said, I thinking that hurt him. "No, Mom, please don't ask me again. Why do you always annoy me? You better not giving birth to me." Since that day, I avoided my mother. She did not talking to me anymore. Then one day, my mother came to me, hugged me, and gently told me, "Our daughter, it must be hurt because of her mother and father's light. I'm so sorry I can't see. Even in difficult times, I always have you. I am very grateful to you. When your brothers were born, they were lovely. But when I found out they couldn't work, I felt so desperate. I desperate, and when I lose my mind, every moment went dark. But I realized that I shouldn't despair. I shouldn't see my child in a different light. But that's no easier than you're born. I cried tears of gratitude to see how healthy you are, but as you grow up and realize and learn on others it must have been very different for you. Yeah, who always put me first, who always helps us became a big force. Thank you for being my daughter. I love you. I will listen to my mother and cry in her arms for others. I realized that I shouldn't despair. I didn't really understand my mother, who always put me first. That day, I discovered mother's prayers. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Now, last contestant. Contestant number 38, Lee Jimin. He will give a speech titled Action Add Up.
Do you know what's happening to our planet right now? Earth is getting hotter and it's because of human activities. One is cutting trees. People are cutting down trees recklessly, causing tropical rainforests of the cold Earth's lungs to disappear. Additionally, the waste and pollutants released from factories are polluting our water, making them dirty and deteriorate. The quality of our air. These pollutants also trap heat in our atmosphere, making the planet warmer. As a result, we are witnessing phenomena like algal blooms in the ocean, mass fish deaths, more frequent forest fires due to increasing dryness, desertification, and endangered polar bears due to melting ice cap. Small islands are at risk of sinking as sea levels rise. I have a deep love for nature and creature. I find happiness in observing animals and the natural world. However, it's heartbreaking and humbling to see nature being destroyed. I kept wondering, why are we ruining this beautiful world? People used to cut forest for willow salt production or building large structures and ship. I've also seen people litter without thinking of the consequence. Perhaps they punch one more won't hurt, but or this small garbage is accumulating and no director our planet. But they are happy globally with declared carbon neutrality and are working together to find solutions. We are traveling involving energy source too. But should we just stand still? Our small action can help combat global warming. Simple things like recycle, planting trees, reducing single-use items, and choosing eco-friendly products can make a difference. You might think, can such small action really matter? Remember the saying, every letter bit helps. Small action added up, just like a speck does dust came from a mountain. Our collective small action can make the earth green again. So let's work together to make our planet a greener, happier place for our future. Thank you.
Whew, it's been a long run. Am I right? Yes, now the all speeches are over. Please give all the contestants another big round of applause. I'm also very impressed. I believe that their speeches are amazing and awesome because every single story that they are talking about so unique and original. Now, at this time, our judges will go to tally up their scores and discuss about the winner of the speeches. In the meantime, we'll have a special time. We'll have a testimony time. While preparing for the English speaking contest, those who have a precious heart given by God in their hearts will come out and have a time to testify. You can speak Korean comfortably. 영어 말하기 대회를 준비하면서 자신의 마음에 하나님이 주신 귀한 마음이 있으신 분들은 나와서 간증을 하는 시간 갖겠습니다. 한국어로 편히 말하시면 됩니다. 네.
안녕하세요. 세이처 광주링컨 학생 김아지입니다. 영어 말하기를 준비하면서 솔직히 좀 외우는 것도 조금 좀 어려웠고 제가 영어를 또 잘 못하고 발음도 이상해서 제가 솔직히 말해서 영어 말하기 대회 제가 잘할 수 있을까 이런 생각도 많이 했고 또 실수하면 어쩌지 또 내가 다 못 외우면 어떡하지 이런 생각들이 계속 찾아왔는데 손명우 선생님께서 그 캠브리지 준비하실 때처럼 우리가 하나님은 이미 이 모든 걸 다 계획하셨고 우리는 거기에 가서 그냥 즐기기만 하면 된다고 하셨는데 정말 그 말처럼 제가 그렇게 하고 제가 또 그렇게 실행하니까 하나님께서 오히려 영어 말하기 대회를 더 편하게 제가 하게 해주시고 또 하나님께서 많이 도와주시는 거예요. 그래서 영어 말하기 외우는 것도 꽤 많이 쉽게 외웠고 그리고 오늘 영어 말하기 대회를 하면서 또 물론 실수를 중간에 하긴 했지만 그래도 제 할 모습들을 다 하고 또 제 마음속에 있는 그런 걸 다 보여주고 또 영어 말하기를 처음 해봤는데 앞으로 더욱더 잘하고 싶다는 생각이 들어서 또 하나님께 감사하고 또 오늘 은혜 입은 것 같아서 간증되었습니다.
안녕하세요. 세이처 광주링컨 학교 셀라파스이아입니다. 오늘 영어 말하기 대회를 하면서 진짜 하나님을 많이 느꼈던 것 같고 만약에 하나님이 도와주지 않으면 저는 이 자리에 설 수 없고 진짜 한 단어라도 말할 수 없을 텐데 하나님께서 너무 많은 은혜를 입혀주시고 또 좋은 결과를 주실 거를 또 아니까 하나님께 감사해서 간증되어 나왔습니다.
안녕하세요. 세계체육 광주링컨 학생 윤재승입니다. 이제 저희는 이제 첫안이 끝나자마자 바로 이제 영말을 준비했는데 이제 멘티별로 준비를 했는데 이제 저희 멘티들은 이제 되게 화이팅이 넘쳤었거든요. 이제 그래서 이제 엄청 열심히 하고 이제 영말도 이제 대부분의 아이들이 이제 다 외웠던 걸로 기억을 하는데 이제 저희가 직접 나서 보니까 정말 좀 힘들고 이제 기억도 안 나는 거예요. 이제 그럴 때마다 이제 딱 하나님의 은혜와 이제 하나님께서 힘을 주셔가지고 이제 그 어려움도 이겨낼 수 있었고 또 이제 항상 이제 선생님들께서 이제 영말을 도와주신 것도 있고 그다음에 저희 이제 멘티들끼리 함께 하니까 좀 더 이제 힘날 수 있었던 것 같아서 감사의 간증하였습니다.
Thank you very much. Now, at this time, we'll have a very special guest lecture by Kim Hyun-jung, Korean teacher at 광주링컨 School. Please welcome her with a big hand.
네. 세계 최고 광주링컨 국어 교사 김현정입니다. 선생님과 짧은 시간 잠깐만 좀 이야기를 나눠볼 건데 기적이라는 제목으로 이야기를 나눠볼까 해요. 자, 여러분이 생각하는 기적은 뭐예요? 영말 연습 많이 못했는데 대상 타고 본선 진출했네? 뭐 이런 것들. 또 그 영어 말하기 원고 다 외우라고 했는데 그냥 2번 읽고 잤는데 아침에 일어났더니 막 술술 외워지는 거예요. 여러분 그런 거 기적이라고 생각하죠. 그다음에 또 이런 거 있지. 우리 여학생 친구들 중에 나 다이어트 해야 되는데 간식 3번 끊었어. 저녁 간식. 그러는데 막 5kg 빠져버렸어. 우와, 이거 놀라운 기적이야, 기적. 이런다는 거죠. 선생님 같은 경우에는 돈이 필요해요. 돈을 어디서 나지? 근데 어느 날 로또를 하나 샀어요. 로또 하나에 얼마인지 아세요? 1,000원. 1,000원짜리 로또 딱 한 장 샀는데 아싸 17억 로또에 당첨이 돼버린 거예요. 이러면 우리는 기적이라고 생각한단 말이에요. 선생님 오늘 이런 기적을 여러분과 이야기하고 싶은 게 아니고 다른 기적을 한번 이야기해 볼 건데, 자, 지금 여기 나와 있는 인물이 누군지 여러분 한번 생각해 보는 겁니다. 하루에 20시간 일했던 사람이에요. 지금은 일주일에 100시간씩 일하고 있어요. 누굴까? 혹시 감 잡히는 사람 없습니까? 벌써 알아버렸단 말이야. 손 내려. 손 내리라고. 자, 2번째. 전 세계, 미국, 러시아, 중국만 한 일을 개인이 해냈어요. 개인이 해낸 데다가 로켓을 발사시켜가지고 궤도에 진입시킨 다음에 그 추진체를 그대로 회수했어요. 이 사람이 해냈단 말이에요. 안단 말이야? 기다려. 자, 그 다음에 인류 역사상 선생님은 이 사람이 록펠러보다 더 많은 돈을 가졌을까? 이 사람이 로벨보다 더 많은 돈을 가졌을까? 이런 의문이 들거든요. 그런데 이 사람이 인류 역사상 가장 많은 돈을 가진 남자라고 하네요. 이제 뭐 감 잡히죠, 여러분? 아마 감 잡힐 거예요. 자, 그런데도 지금도 일주일에 100시간씩 일을 하고 있는 이 남자, 비행기 타고 출근해가지고 비행기 타고 퇴근해서 다른 회사로 갑니다. 스페이스 X에서 테슬라로 가죠. 비행기 타고. 이제 아마 다 알았을 것 같아요. 자, 인간을 화성에 이주시키고 싶은 남자, 그리고 절대 포기를 모르는 남자, 누구겠습니까? 자, 한번 말해볼까요? 그렇죠, 일론 머스크죠. 21세기의 기적이라고 말하는, 그의 돈보다 그의 외모가 더 각광을 받고 있는, 정말 잘생겼죠. 잘생기지 않았습니까? 선생님 일론 머스크 연구하다가 진짜 잘생겼다 막 이런 생각했는데 정말 잘생긴 남자예요. 자, 이 사람에 대해서 잠깐 이야기하자면 선생님보다 1살 어려요. 1971년도 남아공에서 출생을 했어요. 꿈이 미국으로 진출하는 거였거든요. 미국 진출이 굉장히 어려웠지. 그래서 어머니의 고향인 캐나다로 진출을 하잖아요. 근데 이 머스크의 그 청소년 시절은 굉장히 불우했다고 해요. 체격도 작고 그다음에 성격이 괴짜여가지고 맨날 학폭을 당하고 살았대요. 여러분 이런 거 몰랐죠? 학폭당한 남자였어요. 그리고 나서 이제 스페이스 X를 세웠는데, 여러분 펠컨 1호, 펠컨이 어디에 나오는 이름이더라? 와칸다 포에버에 나오잖아. 와칸다 포에버 안 봤습니까? 여러분 어벤져스 영화 안 봤어? 나보다 더 모르네. 선생님은 공부했어요, 여러분. 거기에 그 와칸다의 왕자가 탁 입는 그게 펠컨이잖아. 아니야? 몰라? 펠컨이에요. 자, 펠컨 1호가 3차까지 발사를 실패했단 말이에요, 얘들아. 그래서 파산 직전까지 갔어요. 그 다음에 전기차를 다시 만들었잖아. 그랬는데 이 테슬라가, 여러분 테슬라가 누군지 알아요? 몰라? 에디슨, 자동차 이름이기 이전에 사람 이름이야. 에디슨과 같은 시대에 살았던 에디슨을 버금가는 발명가예요. 전기에 관한. 근데 테슬라 이름은 묻혔잖아. 근데 머스크는 이런 데 주목한 거야, 얘들아. 자, 이 테슬라 자동차 원가가 세상에 나중에 따져보니까 판매가보다 비쌌다는 거예요. 그런데다가 처음 나왔기 때문에 결함이 굉장히 많아가지고 다 회수되고 창고에 다 쌓여 있었단 말이야. 그러니까 적자가 얼마나 심했겠습니까? 거기다가 2008년에 경제 대공황까지 겹치면서 투자자들이 손절했어요, 얘들아. 손절이 뭔지 알지? 그래갖고 전화하면 막 욕을 퍼부었대요. 이 미친놈아, 이 사기꾼아 하면서 욕을 퍼부었다는 거예요. 그래서 지갑에 돈 한 푼 없이 생활하던 시절이 굉장히 오랜 시간이 걸렸습니다. 그리고 가장 존경하는 게 릴 암스트롱이었거든요. 달에 가장 먼저 착륙한 사람. 그 사람이 비난했어요, 이 일론 머스크를. 그런데도 이 일론 머스크는 끝까지 포기하지 않았습니다. 그래서 지금의 자리에 오른 거거든요. 그래서 지금 현대인들은 일론 머스크를 어떤 사람은 사기꾼이라고 말하기도 하고, 어떤 사람들은 인류가 지구에서 멸망한 것을 건져서 인류를 다행성종이 되게 할 수도 있다. 즉 여러 개의 행성에 걸쳐서 살아가게 만들 수도 있다. 누가? 일론 머스크가. 즉 인류의 구세주가 될 거다. 이렇게 말하는 사람도 있단 말이에요. 그래서 현대의 가장 최고의 기적이라고 말하는 게 바로 일론 머스크다. 자, 이 사람의 특징이 있어요. 이 사람의 특징뿐만 아니라 여러분이 성공했다라고 말하는, 혹시 여러분이 알 수 있을지 모르지만 조지 포먼이라는 46세의 권투 챔피언이, 세계 챔피언이 된 사람이 있어요. 여러분 알아요? 자, 이런 사람들, 스티브 잡스, 뭐 이런 사람들의, 그러니까 성공했다고 말하는 사람들의 100% 공통된 특징이 있어요. 여러분 그게 뭐일 것 같아요? 이것만은 다 갖고 있었어, 얘들아. 이것만. IQ? 이것만은 모든 사람에게 있었어. 그래서 이들이 성공한 거야. 그게 뭘 것 같아? 맞아요. 포기하지 않는 마음이에요. 자, 여러분 그래서 한번 영상 한번 보고 가겠습니다. 소리 안 나오네요?
Most of the difference between people that succeed and people that don't is the people that don't give up.
I see.
They give up sooner than the people that succeed.
Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith.
This is a tricky business. Tricky. Yeah, yeah. I wish it wasn't so hard. When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in? Never. Why not? I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated. There are people who've been in the rocketry business for decades who say about you that you don't know what you don't know. Well, I suppose that's true of anyone. How can anyone know what they don't know? But when critics say you can't do this, your answer to them is, we've done it. Do you believe that your rocket will be the next American rocket to take an astronaut into space? I believe that's the most likely outcome, yes. You know, there are American heroes who don't like this idea. Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan have both testified against commercial spaceflight and the way that you're developing it, and I wonder what you think of that. I was very sad to see that, because those guys those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough. No, I wish they would come and visit and see the hardware that we're doing here. And I think that would change their mind. They inspired you to do this, didn't they? Yes. And to see them casting stones in your direction. It's difficult. Did you expect them to cheer you on? So helping the work. What are you trying to prove to them? What I'm trying to do is to make a significant difference in spaceflight and help make spaceflight accessible to almost anyone. And I would go for as much support in that direction as we can receive. I'm probably not the guy that most people would bet on. He wins. It's like a little kid fighting a bunch of sumo wrestlers. Usually the sumo wrestlers win. We're a little scrappy company. Every now and again, a little scrappy company wins. And I think this will be one of those times.
자, 이 인터뷰는 있잖아요. 릴 암스트롱이 사망하기 전에 한 인터뷰거든요. 그러니까 지금의 그 회사처럼 그 규모가 커지기 전에 그 일론 머스크의 생각이란 말이에요. 자, 저렇게 포기하지 않는 정신이 현재의 일론 머스크를 만들어낸 거거든요. 21세기 기적을 만들어낸 거란 말이에요. 자, 여러분 이렇게 포기하지 않는다라고 말하니까 누구 생각납니까? 여러분 생각나야 돼. 포기하지 않았던 사람 한 분 계시는데, 그렇죠! 김기성 목사님이시죠. 자, 이참에 우리 김기성 목사님의 어록을 한번 살펴보겠습니다. 우리는 천재다. 우리에게 첫 번째 가르쳐 주셨던 말씀이에요. 그렇지 얘들아? 그래서 천재는 절대 포기하지 않아. 왜 그렇지 얘들아? 천재가 왜 포기하지 않지? 나는 천재니까 해낼 수 있기 때문에 포기하지 않는 거예요. 그렇게 말씀하셨잖아. 기억나지? 왜냐하면 나는 천재이기에 뭐든지 해낼 수 있기 때문에 나는 절대로 포기하지 않는다라고 우리에게 가르쳐 주셨어요. 또 가르쳐 주신 말씀이 있어요. 뒤로 물러서지 마라. 하나님은 뒤로 물러서는 것을 기뻐하지 않으신다. 하나님은 반드시 역사하신다. 자, 목사님이 우리에게 가르쳐 주신 말씀들이야. 선생님의 핵심만 가져왔어. 그 중에서도 목사님은 우리에게 무엇을 가르쳐 주셨냐면 포기하지 마라. 왜냐하면 너희들은 천재야. 천재는 뭐든지 해낼 수 있어. 그러니까 포기하지 마. 에디슨이 그런 거잖아요. 7,000번이 넘는 실패를 했지만 포기하지 않았어요. 그랬죠, 여러분? 그래서 인류 최고의 발명왕이 된 거란 말입니다. 나는 천재라는 믿음 때문에 포기하지 않고 달려온 거예요. 선생님이 여러분한테 말하고 싶은 것은 있잖아. 기적은 절대로 포기하면 만들어지지 않아. 자, 여러분 기적 같은 삶을 살고 싶죠? 그런데 포기하는 사람은 절대 기적을 만들 수가 없어. 포기했는데 어떻게 만들어지겠습니까? 하지만 포기하지 않는 자는 기적적인 삶을 살게 돼 있어요. 정말 그래요. 자, 여러분들은 광주링컨 선생님들의 꿈입니다. 여러분, 저기는 작년도에 영어 말하기 대회 갖고 상을 받았던 우리 오두연, 이준호, 이유민, 허인경 학생의 사진을 선생님이 가지고 와 봤어요. 감개가 무량합니까? 네, 감회가 새롭습니까, 여러분? 자, 여러분, 저런 상을 받을 수 있었던 것은 여러분이 포기하지 않았기 때문이에요. 아, 영어 말하기 대회 뭐가 그렇게 중요해? 포기해버릴 거야 라고 포기했다면 저런 상을 못 받았겠죠. 자, 그리고 이제 여러분, 그 옆에 있는 것들은 여러분이 지금 우리 3기 학생들이 영어 말하기 대회 원고를 외우고 있는 장면들이에요. 자, 여러분이 포기하지 않고 저렇게 열심히 노력하는 장면들이 선생님은 참 보기 좋았습니다. 그래서 여러분들이 학교 안에서 만들어진 프로그램들 하나하나를 포기하지 않고 꾸준히 달려가다 보면 여러분의 삶에도 분명히 기적이 일어나거든요. 저 밑에 사진은 뭐예요? 여러분 언제적 사진 같아요? 가족 캠프 때 찍은 사진이죠. 여러분 가족 캠프 때 우리도 굉장히 또 많은 도전을 했죠. 그래서 가족과의 관계가 굉장히 돈독해지고 좋아졌단 말입니다. 자, 여러분 모두는 선생님들의 꿈이에요. 그래서 선생님들은 교사회의 할 때 우리 학생들이 어떻게 하면 발전할 수 있을까? 우리 학생들이 어떻게 하면 기적 같은 삶을 살아갈 수 있을까를 생각하면서 프로그램을 의논하고 짠단 말이에요. 그래서 여러분들이 아침에 일어나서 해야 될 일들이 산같이 많을 때 여러분 생각하십시오. 이 프로그램은 선생님들이 우리를 꿈 삼아서 만들어준 프로그램들이다. 포기하지 않고 하나씩 배워간다면 우리는 기적 같은 삶을 분명히 살게 될 것이다. 그런 마음으로 여러분이 학교 생활에 임한다면 여러분에게도 기적이 일어나거든요. 선생님이 짧은 영상 하나 보고 이야기 마치겠습니다.
Hopefully he's going to be okay. These athletes are not enjoying what's happening right now.
No, absolutely not. And the sled now comes uphill.
얼마나 좀 그렇게 좀 저희 잘하고 있으니까 지켜야죠.
죄송해요. 자, 그 모든 것을 우리 스켈레톤 팀이 깨버렸습니다. 아시아 최초로 그리고 대한민국 최초로 봅슬리에서 우승을 했거든요. 그리고 그들은 기적이라는 단어의 뜻을 바꿔버렸어요. 자, 여러분이 생각했던 기적은 우연치 않게 큰 일이 나에게 좋은 일이 우연한 대가로 아니 대가 없이 우연하게 일어나는 것을 기적이라고 생각한다는 거죠. 하지만 저들이 우리에게 가르쳐준 기적은 뭐였어요? 피와 땀과 눈물의 결실이 기적이다. 이렇게 가르쳐 준 거예요. 자, 저들의 이야기가 계속된다고 했죠? 선생님은 저 뒷부분의 이야기를 여러분들이 채워갈 거라고 생각하거든요. 그래서 저 영상 선생님이 이거 분할해서 만든 거예요. 튀는 거 느꼈죠? 튀는 거 못 느꼈어요? 중간에 튀었잖아. 선생님이 저 영상 그 긴 영상인데 잘라가지고 이어 붙인 거예요. 그들의 이야기 2는 누가 만들어 갑니까? 광주링컨 학생들이 만들어 갈 거라는 거예요. 무슨 얘기인지 알겠습니까, 여러분? 그래서 여러분, 선생님이 전하고 싶은 메시지, 김기성 목사님이 우리에게 가르쳐 주셨던 메시지, 그리고 세계에 성공한 저 인물들이 우리에게 말하는 메시지 뭐다 얘들아? 포기하지 마라. 왜? 우리는 천재니까 우리는 다 해낼 수 있다. 여러분 영말대회에 정말 포기하지 않는 자세로 임해주셔서 너무 감사하고 여러분에게 부딪혀오는 어떤 일이든 포기하지 않고 한 걸음이 힘들면 반 걸음, 그 다음에 반 걸음도 힘들면 제자리에 서서 기다리는 겁니다. 도약을 기다리는 겁니다. 절대로 뒤로 물러나지 않고. 그렇다면 여러분의 삶은 기적으로 세워질 거라고 선생님은 의심하지 않습니다. 기적을 만들어가는 세계 최고의 광주링컨 학생들을 선생님이 응원합니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Okay. All the judges are back. I believe that our judges had really hard time to decide the winners for the contest. Now we'll have our judge, Kang, give the judges' remarks.
Hello, everybody. So, the first thing I noticed about like a lot of you, you were very stressed, too much stress. You have to, I don't know, you have to train yourself to control your stress. I know it's not easy standing in front of people to talk, but you have to work on that. And I noticed a lot of you were talking like robots. You have to talk about it. You have to work about that too. You have to be more natural and try to, I can say, okay, it's like put in your mind like everybody is your friend, not afraid of people. And if you are a little bit afraid, don't look people in the eyes. You're gonna get more stress. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, it's finally time for the awards ceremony. I have the name in my hand. Yes, when I call your name, come up to the stage, and after you receive, please stay at the stage. Everyone, are you ready? Yes. Originally, special prize was 6, but in this time we will only give you 5 special prize because this is school's contest, so we can change the rule. Okay. First, special prize. Special prize will be presented by Judge Ga. Special prize goes to contestant number. Drum the beat. Number. Oh. Okay. Sorry, please. Let's wait a little bit. The awards is not come yet, so okay. So just before the mind lecture, we had some testimony time, and we'll have again the second part, testimony time. So, is there anyone who want to testify to our student? Okay. Thank you.
안녕하세요. 세계 최고 광주링컨 학생 조세입니다. 이번에 영어 말하기 대회 했는데 처음에 영어 말하기 대회 할 때 그 3년 동안 했으니까 그냥 늘 하던 대로 하지 뭐 이런 생각으로 그냥 도전 정신이라기보다는 그냥 하니까 하는 거지 뭐 이런 생각으로 외우기 시작했던 것 같은데 근데 외우면서 잘 안 외워지는 부분도 있고 그랬지만 그리고 제가 좀 어떨 때 몰아세우고 안 외우다가 몰아세우고 이렇게 외워서 뇌에 살짝 가부화가 올 때가 많은데 근데 그럴 때도 다 외울 수 있게 해서 하나님께 감사하고 그리고 여기 링컨에서는 맨날 다른 거 막 도전하고 그러는데 여기서 좀 더 자유롭고 그렇게 도전할 수 있어서 많은 분야로 도전할 수 있어서 감사하고 그리고 배울 수 있는 게 많아서 감사한 것 같아요.
Thank you. Anyone else who want to testify to everyone? Nobody? Nobody? Okay. Okay, our chief judge will give you testimony.
자, 여러분, 우리가 이번 영말을 준비할 때 뭐 사건 사고들이 정말 많았어요. 뭐 벌 받는 친구들도 있었고 또 뭐 이것저것 행사들도 있었고 그리고 이제 선생님 마음에서 이제 적어도 이렇게 여러분들이 다 외워서 이렇게 올라가기를 정말 기대하는 마음들이 있었거든요. 근데 중요한 건 내가 진짜 여러분들을 막 선생님들 족치고 임채선 일어나세요 족치고 그런다고 해서 될 일이 아닌 거예요. 그래서 이제 멘토 선생님한테도 좀 이렇게 부탁드리고 또 이렇게 했지만 결국에는 이렇게 마음이 바뀌어야 될 것은 여러분들 본인 자신이고 그리고 또 하나님이 여러분들에게 어떤 비춰지는 마음들을 줘야 이렇게 마음을 바꿀 수 있겠다는 생각이 드는 거예요. 그래서 좀 후반부에는 선생님도 좀 내려놨어요. 어떻게 내가 푸시한다고 해서 더 이상 뭘 푸시할 수 있을까? 하나님이 얘네들한테 비춰주는 만큼 하나님이 얘네들한테 보여주는 만큼 얘네들이 변화되고 얘네들이 바뀌는 게 가장 복된 일이겠다 이제 이런 생각을 했고 그랬는데 참 몇몇 학생들이 이렇게 일요일 날에도 원고 이렇게 들고 다니면서 하고 또 이렇게 와서 코치해달라고 하는 직접 와서 코치해달라는 친구들이 있고 이 38명 중에 정말 2-3명이 그렇게 하더라고요. 그래서 이제 그 작은 변화가 여러분들 사이에 물결이 되어서 오늘 좀 섰을 때 여러분들 자체가 좀 비춰지는 시간이 됐기를 바라요. 그래서 내가 앞에 서서 이렇게 스피치하고 내려오는 모습 우리가 4교시 때 영어 스피치를 계속 할 겁니다. 왜냐하면 28일이 광주 지역 본선이기 때문에 여러분들이 다 출전을 할 거예요. 여기 있는 친구들이. 그래서 뭐 이제 떨어지는 친구도 있겠지만 어쨌든 다 출전을 한다고 생각을 하고 그러면 거기에 심사위원분들은 또 오늘 하시는 분들이랑 달라요. 그래서 어떤 결과가 나올지도 잘 모르기 때문에 여기서 못 받는다고 해서 실망하지 말고 꾸준히 연습을 하시고 저희도 남은 한 주간 또 연습하는 시간을 가질 건데 오늘 4교시 때 이제 여러분들 저희가 이걸 다 생중계를 했어요. 지금 유튜브로 다 나가고 있었던 거예요. 여러분들 부모님들도 보실 분들은 보셨을 거예요. 자, 그래서 이제 그 파트를 오늘은 4교시 때 우리 멘토 선생님들 애들이랑 같이 보시면 좋을 것 같아요. 그래서 내가 이런 모습으로 내가 이렇게 스피치를 했구나 라고 생각하시고 여러분들이 좀 자기가 보여지고 자기가 비춰지고 좀 생각이 되어지는 시간이 되시기를 바랍니다. 아시겠죠? 네, 그래서 여러분들이 이제 졸업을 앞두고 있는 우리 3학년들도 있고 또 이제 새롭게 광주링컨에 있으면서 2번의 영어 말하기 대회가 더 남아있는 1학년들도 있는데 내가 이 순간들을 어떻게 해치고 진행해 나가야 될지 좀 이렇게 생각을 했으면 좋겠어요. 여러분들이 아시겠어요? 지금 이 시간이 그냥 이제 행사 끝났다 이제 영말 끝났다 이렇게 하면 그냥 끝나버리는 시간이 되지만 이 시간을 통해서 여러분들이 다른 사람과 비춰보고 또 나 자신을 비춰보고 나의 어떤 3학년 중학교 과정 속에서 계획을 좀 세우면 분명히 배움을 얻어가는 그런 귀한 시간이 될 거라고 믿어 의심치 않습니다. 자, 여러분들 너무 수고하셨습니다.
Did the awards come here? Not yet? No? Not yet? Okay. 혹시 I will say Korean. 혹시 손민숙 선생님의 말씀을 듣고 내 마음에 감각이 되어서 하나님 앞에 내가 간증을 하고 싶다. 이 말씀에 반응하고 싶다 하는 사람들은 3초 안에 나오도록 합니다. 지금부터 세겠습니다. 3, 2, 1. 네, 상부터 왔습니다. 네, 그러면은 지금부터 시상 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. Okay. First, special prize. Okay, special prize will go to 5 people, and special prize will be presented by Judge Carr. Please come to the front. Okay. Special prize goes to contestant number, drum the beat, number 13, 오두현, 18, 서유빈, 30, 김혜지, 21, 윤재승, and 2, 허인경. Please come to the front. Okay, please make a line. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Okay. Contestant number 13, 오두현. Yes, please go to the middle stage. Okay. This certificate is presented to the above student for placing as specified above in 2023 광주링컨 School English Speech Contest. October 23rd, 2023. 한혜숙 Principal of 광주링컨 School. Okay, presenter will get 10,000 cultural gift certificate scholarship. Yes. Smile. Okay, next. Contestant number 21, Yoon Jae-seung. The content is same as before. Principal of 광주링컨 School. Please move closer. Okay, B, yes. Good job. And next. Contestant number 18, 서유빈. The content is same as before. Principal of 광주링컨 School. Okay, next. The contestant number 30, 김혜지. The content is same as before. Principal of 광주링컨 School. Smile. Okay, thank you. And next. The contestant number 2, 허인경. Okay, 오두현, sorry. 오두현. The content is same as before. Principal of Gwangju Lincoln School. Okay, next. Next, we have the third place prize. The third place prize will be presented by Principal Han. The third place prize goes to contestant number 26, Lee Yoo-min. The content is same as before. Principal of Gwangju Lincoln School. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Thank you. Okay, one more time. Yes, please smile. Okay, thank you. And next, we have the second place prize. The second place prize goes to contestant number 29, Kim Ji-yu. The content is same as before. Principal of Gwangju Lincoln School. Presenter will get certificate scholarship. And next, we have first place prize. The first place prize goes to contestant number 19, Chang Ju-yeon. The content is same as before. Principal of Gwangju Lincoln School. Thank you so much. And last, we have grand prize. So, do you want to get grand prize? Yeah. Who wants to get grand prize? Oh my God, okay, yes. Okay, grand prize goes to contestant number 27, Yoo Ji-hye. Please give her a big round of applause. The content is same as before. Principal of Gwangju Lincoln School. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, awardees, please come out and we'll have a group photo shooting. 네, 상 받은 사람들 먼저 사진을 찍고 그 다음에 전체 사진 찍도록 하겠습니다. Before the closing, there will be a group photo shooting now. Everyone, please pose when you shoot 1, 2, 3. Come on. Okay. Click. Please smile. 올려요? 근데 테이프가 청테이프가 이렇게 안녕. 네. Okay, please back straight. Back straight car, please. Yes. Smile. Kimchi. Okay, thank you. And now all the participants and teachers will come out and take pictures. Students. Okay, students and teachers, please come out. Please come out. Everyone, please pose when you shoot 1, 2, 3. Please come out quickly. Please move quickly. 반대쪽으로 가세요. Thank you so much. Everyone, please, student, sit down. Yes, now we'll have the closing ceremony, and this will conclude 2023 광주링컨 School English Speech Contest. We have announcement. We have announcement. Teacher 손미수 will say.
네. 자, 여러분 지금 우리가 여기 뒷정리할 건데 잘 들으세요. 일단은 오늘 청소는 8교시 마치고 진행할 테니까 그건 오후에 조금 공지하겠습니다. 아시겠죠? 자, 그래서 지금 청소는